on ESPN 620.
All right. The one, the only, Frank Sanders now on Rockamanooch with Jimmy B. Josh Sweat signs a 4-year deal with the Cardinals. What do you think about that, big fella?
You know what? After watching him play in the Super Bowl, the way he went about his business, that's a great decision by the Arizona Cardinals. Of course, JG got to be happy about that. You get another guy on the defensive line that can create pressure. That's exactly what we needed last year. And coming down the stretch, we didn't have all our dogs like we needed them to, but to get some fresh legs and a dog like him, that'd be good. That'd be good for the defense.
You know, Frank, I was talking about that. That'd be good. The next piece of that be another, I would say top defensive lineman to push that pocket to stop the run, because they pushed the pocket the entire game with only 4 guys and Josh Sweat coming off the edge.
You're absolutely right. You know, we always talk about this league being a copycat league, and if you watched exactly what it took in order, again, what it took to get to the quarterback of that level and caliber and Patrick Mahomes to shut him down, to add another piece to the puzzle to what can make this defense be better. I mean, that was a good decision and a good pickup.
How difficult that for a receiver, I know for a quarterback, when you're constantly dropping 7 into coverage and putting pressure with 4 guys, it's tough for a quarterback. Obviously, we saw Patrick Mahomes, as you alluded to, but how about for a receiver running the adjustments and running into not only you, but maybe somebody else being double covered or zones covered in every spot on the field?
You know what? Honestly, they eat up all the windows. One of the funny things that I always kind of talk about is the fact that a cover 2 has been a cover 2 since Little League. A cover 3 has been a cover 3 since Little League, and so on and so on. And the defenses in every zone, every defense has a zone or a zone window that they have to man. But when you drop guys back, all 7 guys are able to drop back, they're covering up those windows, and it's making the precision of the quarterback to be that much more accurate. It's making the receiver routes be that much more. It has to be much more on timing. And if it doesn't match, you're going to find yourself doing what Patrick Mahomes was doing, which is patting the ball, waiting for guys to get open, and it turns into more of a scramble drill. And to be able to get 4 guys, just to put 4 guys to pressure that quarterback and to stop the run and the pass, I mean, it makes the game that much more easy for the defense.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So my question then is back to where you were discussing with Manuch on the defensive line. There's not a Jalen Carter out there. So how do you find 1 or 2 fat guys that you can trust enough to put on that defensive line?
You know what? The beauty of this is that the fat guys are actually becoming more athletic. And the unique part about that, Jimmy B, is that they're moving guys around. So there's really not just like a defensive tackle per se. Jalen Carter's a defensive tackle, but he's fast enough and elusive enough to be on the outside just as well. And so the way the guys are running these defensive packages now, is there a defensive tackle? You might find 2 or 3 guys in the NFL that are big enough, that 360, 350, 3-something kind of guy that can kind of plug a hole. But the way they move these guys around, the money that they're paying them is making these guys become versatile in their positions. The quarterback himself is not just a quarterback. He has to run, throw, pass. He has to wipe down guys' faces. He has to make sure the water's cold. I mean, these guys, you don't get a pass on just being one position right now. And I think the guy like we talked about a week ago, Travis Hunter, look at him. You can't just be just one way. And I think the money they're paying these guys are requiring these guys to be more than just one thing. So, again, good luck with finding a guy that you can plug the middle with, but it's more important to get guys that you can use that will be versatile, that you can really kind of get after that quarterback, because the quarterbacks that are in the NFL right now, Rock, those suckers are just as athletic as any person on the football field.
How about a guy like Ty Robinson, the kid out of the rookie coming out of Nebraska, 6'7", 300 pounds, ran a 4.85 40. He's a tackle. He's one of those guys, maybe at number 16. He might be your guy to complement what you're saying there, Frank.
Oh, without a doubt. Listen to those numbers, man, at 6'7". God dang. This is like
big dude.
You know what I mean? And everything's changing. Victor Biombi, he's 7'6". In the NBA, that's just like an anomaly. But with all the athleticism and all the skills of Kevin Durant, shot making and ability to handle the ball, that's basketball. Look at football. The quarterback's running, throwing. taking on linebackers and tackle drills and things like that. It's just the athletes of the day is requiring. They have the ability to be as mobile and as pliable as you want them to be. You just got to have the creativity to do it. The Cardinals, we do need another guy, some more guys on the defensive front. I agree with you on that, Jimmy B. But you can just kind of hit or miss as long as the defensive coordinator or the offense coordinator knows what to do with those particular tools.
Frank, how much of this deal with Josh Sweat was his knowing the defense, knowing Coach Gannon, or was it all about the money? He got his ring. Now it's time to get paid and play for a few more years and retire.
Let's hope that the last part was almost like a dramatic effect, right? Let's hope they did. I mean, but he's right. You're right, Rock. You're right on point.
Got to be honest.
It's got to be honest, right? He's leaving from the 7th NFLPA team in the country to come to the 32nd, but he knows JG. The money's good. He's got his ring. Please come here and be the dog you was there. Please come to the Cardinals and have that same tenacity and want and drive to make these other guys want it. But, Rock, you're absolutely right, man. We could have played some nice dramatic effect music, man, in the background and had a glass of wine and talked this over and just tried to figure it out, because it's not impossible to think that, because once you get the ring, are you still hungry? You still got a little more biting and fighting. He's a young cat, so hopefully with JG, he'll have that. He'll still bring that. He'll bring that energy.
Frank, a couple receivers on the move. DK Metcalf getting traded, going to get paid as well, going to Pittsburgh. That helps that immensely. And then how about Devontae Adams? The Rams picking him up in free agency. Looks like Cooper Kupp is probably at this point going to get released. So Devontae Adams helps that Rams team, helps the NFC conference, and helps the Rams build even more so now that Matthew Stafford's going to stick around.
Look, the Rams just put everyone on notice in the NFC in this division right now.
Sure
they
did.
Just put everyone back on notice. They went one year with no one being fearful. Now they got God dang, who is this team? The Rams are back in play now at a high level. I mean, Devontae Adams, just what they were already doing offensively with McVay and Puka Nacua and Cooper, and just the ability to what they were doing offensively to add Devontae is just another weapon. And not just a little weapon, a great weapon. And so that's just something that, look, LA put everybody back on notice, and I think they're going to be the team to beat right now for the Cardinals. And they have to figure it out, how to match that energy. We need some energy just like that. We need more players like a Sweat. We need a Higgins. We need named guys to come into the Cardinals organization to change the mindset, fan base, and also to change the locker room and what needs to happen emotionally and mentally to make this team, to push this team to the next level.
Frank, they still have plenty of money to work with, right?
I'm available.
You'd give them the hometown discount, though, would you not?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, based upon my NFL PA rep and Drew Rosenhaus, they will not allow me to take less than the 20 I'm supposed to.
See? I tell these guys that all the time. You'd go out there for a Mars bar and an apple, wouldn't you, if you had to?
Yeah, I'm gonna need Popeyes and some tequila.
I love Popeyes.
How about a year's supply of Popeyes and tequila, right?
They could get me, brother. They could get me for that one.
Oh, good stuff. Frank, have a good week, buddy. We'll talk to you next.
All right, guys, man. Love you guys.
Love you too. Frank Sanders joining us as he does each and every Monday. If we had a little bit more time, I would have asked him about his who he thinks is going to win the Players' Championship this weekend at TBC Sawgrass. So a great non-major, but major, it feels like anyway.
That's a great tournament.
We'll get into that a little bit later in the week. Our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day, which we're going to have the results coming here in just a moment, as State 48 Roofing has been quite busy because of the a little bit of rain we got over the weekend. Who would be your MVP pick today? Is it SGA? Is it Jokic? Is it Giannis or Tatum? Those are your four choices. You can head over to rockmanuch.com. You're going to hear from Louis Riddick next on his thoughts on Josh Sweat. That's our one call from Lerner Row as we continue from the studios of ES.